Hey, my fellow target individuals, patriotic Americans, and people in the UFO, extraterrestrial, and conspiracy reality communities. I am doing this update status video to tell you what I'm thankful for Thanksgiving and my target individual experiences. I'm going to get my thanks or gratefulness statements out of the way before I tell you my target individual experiences. I am thankful to all the whistleblowers that helped us target individuals, star seeds, energy workers, energy warriors. I don't call it light warriors or light workers or anything like, because darkness isn't always evil. Just what Tanakh from the Legion said, that you must have balance between darkness and light. That there has to be balance. That's what happens with the Drake equation and the Goldilocks zone. When planet Earth has too much light from the sun, guess what happens? The sun burns all life on Earth, and all life on Earth goes extinct. When there is not enough light and too much darkness, it becomes like Pluto, and life on planet Earth just freezes to death. That's why I don't call it light working or dark working or any fucking like dark shit. Because you need both light and darkness in order to survive as a living organism, because too much of both can kill you. Because too much of anything can be poisonous. Happy holidays too. I call it energy work because the thing that Tanakh from the Silver Legion, Patty Brizard, and a lot of these types of people that are star seeds and super soldiers and stuff, or worse super soldiers in the secret space program, use is energy and frequencies. Therefore, I call it energy work or energy warriors, energy workers instead of light or whatever woo woo new age hippie nonsense you're going to call it. I just wanted to get that out of the way. The nomenclatures, vernaculars, the reasoning why I use certain terms over others. I thank these types of people for their work fighting against the Cabal, Illuminati, Zionist Jews, fascists, neo-Nazis, Nachtwaffen, Alpha Draconian, Grey Aliens, Draco Archons, Black Goo, PPAI, and the Universe Killers that are on top of it all that Tanakh from Silver talks about. These people are Tanakh from the Silver Legion, Patty Brizard, Army Sergeant Patty Brizard. I gotta say Army Sergeant in order for you to know what I'm actually talking about. Get into the nitty gritty details. Alfred Lee Bremont Weber, Harold Kautzvilla, Carrie Cassidy, Project Camelot, James Rink, from Super Soldier Talk, Arkham Raw, Jordan Maxwell, Michael Sarian, Mark Passio, Robert Duncan, the guy that wrote those books, Project Soulcatcher and How to Tame a Demon, Brian 2, Brian Crofon, a.k.a. Justin Carter, Kenneth Peartree, William Benny, Barry Trower, Edward Snowden, Julian Assange, um, it's going kinda good. Better than most days, especially this time of year. And then, I think people like Tara Yvette Potter, Kathy Meadows, that's a psychologist that wrote a lot of books. Uh, Trying to think about another whistleblower. I guess Robert Kennedy would be considered a whistleblower. Uh, Dr. Robert Malone, Dr. David Martin, I thank you, my fellow target individuals, for helping me out with my experience. And we all need to be thanking each other for helping each other out. I'm also thanking Mother Nature for providing me mushrooms and wild medicinal plants to eat and help me protect myself and on myself from direct energy weapons, tough environmental protection work, picking litter up out of the creeks and roads, and dealing with a shit ton of stress from being a victim of narcissistic, parasitic family members with chauvinism and who don't care about nature because they litter and do illegal things like burn plastic, and deal with being a victim of the narcissistic personality disorder mom and victim of Down syndrome by proxy. Um, I, I think I already thanked enough people. Oh, thank you, Nikki James, Moonfeather, Chad Cook, Tommy Sweezmanek, Walter Liet Gebb, Terry Yvette Potter, Wolo Canuck, my fellow target individuals on Facebook for being my friends and helping me out and just talking to me. I think I've already did enough thanking people. Uh, I'm going to tell you something that I've been going through. It involves Sergeant Patty Brizard, a woman I respect and look up to. They put a thought in my head through soft, V2K, voice to God, voice to skull, sub or low voice to skull. They put in my head with Patty Brizard's voice that it said with their artificial intelligence that Patty Brizard is talking about. I think this might be Sophia doing this to me. Or it might even be the PPAI Black Goo doing it to me. I don't know. But it's a very evil artificial intelligence that has been programmed by very evil beings to violate people's free will, infringe upon people's free will. It said with Sergeant Petty Brizard's voice to me, Savannah, you don't have the right to have children, and you shouldn't have children, and it's evil, service to self, and selfish for you to fantasize about having children with a military soldier, because Sergeant Patty Brizard, because they're pretending to be her, because they're talking to me as her in my head, that we good beings are going to be taking humanity and all of the souls and spirits of life on earth to a new earth where everything is better, and that this earth has been too damaged and violated by evil extraterrestrials and shit, and that this planet earth is just old evil trash that we're going to be throwing away. What, Mom? That's what they said to me with Patty Brizard's voice. They're saying it through their AI, or it's saying, or it with Patty Brizard's voice, that is trying to make me think that Patty Brizard is telepathically communicating with me and punishing me for wrongdoing and thinking about doing wrong things and selfish things in general. And that she's telling me, or it wants, or they wants to make me think that she's telling me that this place called Planet Earth is too evil, old, alpha draconian, gray alien, tainted trash to save, that you can't save Planet Earth. It's just need to that people are just going to just die on planet Earth, that it's her agenda, Patty Brizard's agenda, and the good extraterrestrials to kill and destroy all life on planet Earth, and to take our souls and spirits to a new Earth to reincarnate in better bodies, and the planet Earth there will be in such a way that you can't do harm to others, and evil would be an obsolete and unthinkable thing to do, and it's going to be like heaven. That's what they're trying to make me think, that I should not want to live, that I should just die, so where Patty Brizard and the good extraterrestrials can take my soul to the new earth, that Patty Brizard and the good extraterrestrials, the Andromeda Council, and Tanaf from the Silver Legion has got set up for me and everybody else. And that it's selfish, service to self, and very illogical for me to fantasize about having a life here on this earth with a military soldier of all damn people, because I fetishize military soldiers. And that it's selfish for me to bring in new souls here, to make new souls reincarnate here by having babies here, and that I should just die even during childbirth for punishment of having babies here on a planet that is a dying, old, evil pile of shit planet. That they're saying that you shouldn't breed because breeding is unethical on an unethical planet that is evil by design, and that is evil incarnate. That's what they want to make me think. They're trying to make me think that women deserve to die during childbirth, and that women deserve to be euthanized in order for them not to bring new souls into planet Earth, because they're being evil, selfish bitches who need to stop having children, and that they need to stop being Alpha Draconian, gray alien human hybrids, or stop being like the Alpha Draconians, stop being low density, low vibration beings like the Alpha Draconians, and quit having a fucking addiction, obsession, and really desires to the third dimension, third density material realm, especially this uh, particular planet of third density material realm that has been too tainted by parasitic and predatory life forms. I need to go and see what the fuck they're talking about. They need. What? My damn family members got messed up about it snowing and telling me to go and look at it snowing. And you shut up and quit ruining my videos and wasting my damn time in general. And I am sick and tired of them saying this shit that goes against free will. Sergeant Patty Brazard, to not from Sir Legion, the Galactic Authority that Penny Bradley. Oh, thank you, Penny Bradley, for what you have done. I forgot to mention you. Thank you, Penny Bradley, for talking about Noctwolfen and Marduk and stuff like that. Now, I know that a lot of you that are in my comment section are not target individuals, troopers, conspiracy theorists, UFO and extraterrestrial people, the kind of people that look at Carrie Cassidy shit or to not from the Silver Legion shit. So I don't give a shit about you, and I'm not going to respond to your fucking comments because I know you're just damn trolls. Either ask me and tell me something intellectual and that's on topic, or don't say anything at all. I'm just going to ignore you. I'm sick and tired of people thinking that Sergeant Patty Brazard and that these people that know the founders of this planet Earth being the elves and know about the people that created this planet, the extraterrestrial elder species that created this planet, created us humans. They think that they have the right to do whatever they want to do with the planet Earth. They don't. And that's because free will. God creator universe, or what Patty Brazard and Tanov call source. It says we all have free will, and our free will is more important than who created a planet or set a planet up for life to live on it. It's basically this sort of thing. If you create a house, I think this is like Hammurabi Code or something like this. If you create a house, the people that live in your house have more rights than the actual house does. That's why you have to create the house real well before you sell it off or rent it off to anybody. Well, that's what we humans and all life on planet Earth is like. We are the renters and our buyers of this house called planet Earth when we reincarnate to learn and do things on here. We have more rights than the people, the extraterrestrials that made the planet for us to reincarnate on in the first place. Because a house isn't a house without the people in it, and the people in it is what actually makes the house, because that's what the house was built for. And I'm sick and tired of them using Patty Brazard's voice of all fucking people. Of all fucking things in the world. They think Sergeant Patty Brazard is certainly going to go into the poor target individuals and victim of narcissistic personality disorder mom's head and try to place her like a fucking Stasi Nazi. I, I would tell them, these people, beings that are in my head, this artificial intelligence, that they need to go and get killed, that I wish somebody would fucking nuke them, shoot them up, or torture them to death because of what they're doing to me. And Patty Brizard, I tagged you in this video of mine because I really need you to know what I'm going through, because they're using your voice on people through V2K. They are mimicking your voice, Patty Brizard, along with other people like Alfred Lee Bremont Weaver, Penny Bradley, uh, other whistleblowers in general. They're using your voice and other people's like you voice who are in similar predispositions in life and have similar duties, and they're trying to make me a victim of voice to skull, synthetic telepathy, remote neural monitoring manipulation, and uh, Havana syndrome, because they make me have headaches and fatigue and neck aches and everything like that too, and they force me to sleep. They sometimes make me have insomnia. They used to made me have more insomnia before. They did sleep deprivation to torture me and make me more confused and fucked up in the head in general. They stopped making me have insomnia because I took advantage of the stimulation, the fucking frequency caffeine that they would shoot me up with. They would shoot me up with a frequency that would respond to my brain at night and make me feel like I've been having a shit ton of caffeine or something in my body that kept me awake. That's what they used to do with me. I would jam out to heavy metal rock and roll music like Disturbed and Slipknot and think about torturing and killing them, and fantasize about it with imagery and talking bad to them for the heavy metal music, Sergeant Patty Brizard, as a way of putting curses and sending negative vibrations their way, because that's how I do energy work. I use heavy metal music in order to curse and inflict a great deal of pain and harm to these evil son of a bitches. Scum of the earth's doing this to us. And I don't care if they're humans or extraterrestrials. Evil humans and evil extraterrestrials, they both need to be destroyed in order to save our souls and the spirits of animals. Yes, animals, Sergeant Patty Resort, have rights. We need to respect the animals as well. The animals will eventually have souls when they reincarnate and become bipedal, sentient, intelligent life forms like us, or become dragons like Xenophorus Legion, which are sentient, intelligent beings with off that walk on all four legs, or there's even a high vibrational and just very good moral insectillion and arachnid arthropod beings as well, like a good Cthulhu species, a species of space octopus that grow big but not as big as Cthulhu is, that are very intelligent and stuff like that. Um, that kind of stuff. That's why we need to care about the environment, and we need to care about animals' rights, because how we human beings treat other animals ultimately determines on how we're going to treat ourselves and each other. And Mark Passia, who was an ex-Illuminati member, Sergeant Patty Brizard, he said the Illuminati wants us to get into cannibalism. The Cabal wants us to kill and eat other human beings. And that they want us to eat bugs as well. And they want to do this in order to better control us and to make us sick, and not just physically sick, more like mentally and spiritually sick and controlled. And they ultimately want us sick all over to control us because sick slaves are better slaves, not healthy slaves. Healthy slaves are better to are not better to control than sick slaves, because sick slaves are too sick to resist against the slave master. And the best sickness for a slave to have is the psychosis, psychological dysfunctional sickness, because a confused slave is certainly a slave you can mind control. Because confusion, psychosis, mood swings, that kind of stuff, that right there is what you can use to really fuck somebody over and to make them do what you want them to do through persuasion and subliminal messaging and other stuff like that. And Mark Passio and other people said that if we kill and eat all the animals, we eventually have to kill and eat human beings because we're so dependent and addicted to eating meat, to eating flesh and blood at that point, that we would have to fucking kill and eat other human beings, to kill and eat other sentient intelligent life forms, even human extraterrestrial hybrids and extraterrestrials, to satiate our need for eating meat. Because we would have a flesh addiction and obsession, and we would have a fear of starving to death if we don't have anything bloody or meaty to eat. That's what they want. They want to kill us by making us kill each other in all kinds of different ways. And they're getting my fellow target individuals into doing a lot of things, like going out and killing people and shooting sprees, do passive aggressive disorder like suicide, a lot of stuff. Sergeant Patty Brizard. And they're trying to do a psychological operation on my brain and probably other people's brain, which is like an MK Ultra trauma bond situation. And MK Ultra, the CIA would take in young people under their wing, and groom them, and they would first be very nice to the young people, teach them stuff and give them nice stuff. Then after that they would start molesting them, harassing them, bullying them, and do a lot of sexual molestation to absolute torturing them, like with knives and electric shock, shit like that. And they did that for trauma bond because the victims would think that the CIA is doing that because they know what's best and they know what they're doing, and that their CIA masters would never do any harm to them. Many of the victims of CIA agents were their loved ones, friends and family members of their friends, people in their communities and stuff like that. And poor people and people that were of the most unfortunate of society, those kind of people. And these people were victimized by the very people that took them in as masters, teachers, parents, grandparent figures, role models, and stuff like that. And it caused them to have a trauma bond where they would let these people in the CIA do harm to them because they thought that the harm was somehow good, and right to do in their messed up, mind controlled heads. Well, they're trying to do that to me. and my fellow target individuals, Sergeant Petty Broussard. I look up to you the same way these people looked up to the CIA who did this to the victim shit. I look up to you as a teacher, and they're using your voice to harass me with V2K in order for me to get a trauma bond to them, thinking that the mind hackers, perps, gang stalkers, mind stalkers, are you, and that every bad thing that they're saying to me with your voice is what you're actually saying to me, and that they're telling me to do some bad things to myself and others, do harm, uh, in very sick and horrifying ways. And they're trying to make me do passive aggressive disorder because they, through your voice and other people's voices of people that I look up to, they're telling me that I need to start harming myself and do passive aggressive disorder. And that they say I don't have human rights and that I'm a human extraterrestrial hybrid, which is why I have so much health problems and why I've went through so much pain and suffering is because I'm not a human being, and only human beings, pure-blooded human beings that you talk about, Sergeant Patty Broussard, with the 3 strands of DNA and the 48 chromosome, have rights to human decency and integrity and dignity. That only those people have human rights, and also the human beings that have 2 strand DNA and 46 chromosomes only have human rights, have rights to personhood and be treated with decency. And they say that I am a human extraterrestrial hybrid. Sometimes they tell me that I'm a mutated human that is so mutated that I'm not even human anymore. They also tell me that kind of shit. They tell me that I don't have the right to life, and I don't have the right to life, liberty, and pursue happiness, the thing that is in our country's United States Constitution. I don't have the right to be treated with decency. I don't have the right to treat other people with decency because there is no decency because of what I am. That I can't be treated decent, and I can't be decent to others because of my biology and what they're trying to make me think I am. They're trying to make me think I don't have the right to dignity and integrity. They tell me I have no inalienable rights, constitutional rights, and human rights whatsoever at all, and that I should just be a slave, that I should just fucking die. That's what they telling me, Sergeant Patty Broussard. They also tell me that I am a lower 4th dimensional being because I choose to become a goddess of war and death in order to kill all the tyranny and evil on planet Earth. And they also told me that if you want to kill in your voice and other people's voice, and also with thoughts, they put thoughts in me too with suspect telepathy and neuromonitoring manipulation. They tell me if you want to kill all tyranny and evil on planet Earth, you would have to kill all life on planet Earth because all life on planet Earth is tyranny and evil because of how much of a forsaken by source or God, a God-forsaken evil piece of shit planet this is, that I should do what the God of the Bible does in Revelations and use the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, famine, pestilence, and death in order to bring destruction of the world, to make mass extinction level event on planet Earth, just to kill every fucking thing on planet Earth and make the world end. That's what they tell me, Sergeant Petty Broussard. And they tell me that it's no different than what you said you're going to do, that you're going to burn planet Earth and take us blooded humans and our pure human souls and the pure souls of the star seeds up to a higher dimension in the 5th dimension, 5th density, while you're just going to just forsake all the evil service to self-human extraterrestrial hybrids and the Alpha Draconian, the evil extraterrestrials. And they told me, Savannah, if it's okay for Sergeant Patty Brazard to destroy the planet in order to save the souls and spirits of the most innocent and positive polarity beings on planet Earth, and I should just do the same and help her and just destroy all life on planet Earth. And that I should kill all life on planet Earth for you and for planet Earth itself, and that it's not murder for me to kill everybody on planet Earth. It's divine justice, it's mercy killing or honoring killing for our source, creator, in order to liberate the good souls and spirits on planet Earth from the what the Gnostics would call the Yada-Baoth, the Demiurge, Saturnale, and the Archons. What David Icke and people call the Archons, Archon, Draco Parasites, Draconians, the Grey Aliens from the Reincarnation Death Trap, and the Loose Adrenochrome, and soul harvesting farming operations that these evil extraterrestrials are doing to us. And they say the best way to kill tyranny and evil is to kill all life on Earth and in the third density dimension, even going so far as to killing all life in the Milky Way galaxy and universe, because that's the only place where evil actually exists and can reign supreme, where service to self-tyrants can actually rule and have absolute power and ascendancy over others, is the third dimension in the material realm. And that if I'm going to stop tyranny and evil, I should stop it in the domain or density that it has the most power in, by killing all life in the third dimension material realm. Because if there is no life in the material realm, third dimension, then there won't be tyranny and evil. Any sentient, intelligent life forms that would choose to be of evil orientation, because there would be no evil in life if all life would be dead. Because if all life is dead and extinct, then there would be no evil, malevolent life forms to have to kill and deal with. They say the only way to kill evil is to kill free will, and the only way to kill free will is to kill what has free will, and that's life. And then, I would have to kill all life in the third dimension material realm forever and become an eternal, infinite fractal weapon, infinite, eternal, mass extinction level event, where I would just forever and ever 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 going to past non-million years and non-million light years into infinity, just killing life forms, just banging mass extinction level events to any planet, moon, galaxy, solar system, galaxy, and universe that has life in it, just making all life in the third dimension physical world till around go extinct. That's what they told me. They told me that the third dimension, that doesn't have the right to exist because it's devoid from what you would call Patty Resort and to not from Solution and other people, that it's devoid from source, and that it's not even source's density, it's not source's dimension, that it's not God's dimension, the third dimension is. Therefore, nobody and nothing has rights in the third dimension. It's just the law of the jungle, survival of the fittest, kill or be killed, predator versus prey, dog eat dog, parasitic matrix, hell, dungeon, where all life has to kill other living things in order to live, and shit like that. That there is no fucking rights for anybody or anything down here in the third dimension, because we all have to kill and destroy somebody or something just to live, just to maintain our physical forms, our flesh suits in the material realm. They say this stuff to me, Patty Resort, But the third dimension, it has its kinks, but that doesn't make it bad. And there is still places for this dimension. There's still purpose for it. There's still meaning of life in this world. And that what I'm going to do, Patty Brizard, if you especially if you and Tanoff help me out, is that I want to bring the third dimension, this third dimensional space of the Milky Way galaxy, and realign it and reconnect it to Source's energy in order to make it a better place where good runs supreme and not evil. I want to just balance it out, um, and make a fractal weapon, a fractal virus like the Universe Killers made. But this fractal virus will make sure that 70% of evil will have reign. 70% of good will have reign over evil. That at least 70% of the time, forever in this material realm, third density, will be good. And that only 30% of it will be evil. I can't get rid of all the evil because that's a free will issue. That's also an improbability because of the free will issue and because of how messy and complex it is down here in the third dimension. There's always going to be a little bit of evil here and there. And good beings sometimes fuck up and have an accident and they wind up doing something evil thinking it's good. Patty Brizard and Tanoff from Cerebral Legion, and that's because of their ignorance and because their souls are not experienced enough. Not a lot of soul growth about what's right and wrong. And also because they're fighting with other souls that are evil, and it's hard to, especially when you're young or you're in a survival situation, for you to make good decisions that are good and evil decisions. And sometimes people can kind of confuse something that is immoral, evil, as something that's moral and good. And that's just how it's going to be in the third dimension. You can't have the third dimension be perfect because there is no perfection in the third dimension. There is no 100% this and that in third dimension. Anything goes in third dimension. It's like an experiment, a free for all. That's what it is. But Source, God, whatever you want to call this thing that creates us all, it doesn't need us to be completely perfect. And it didn't create us, reality didn't create us to be perfect. It created us to be our own unique souls, our own unique units of consciousness, and go out there and try and give it our best in existence and create whatever we can create and just be our own unique little fractal in reality. That's all it is. And evil is just another test and just another what you would call glitch in the matrix of the cosmos infinity. It's not very nice. It's the most disturbing, horrific thing to deal with, but evil is something we have to deal with. Because all reality and everything in reality, good, bad, and ugly, is something we have to deal with. And I know this, and I even feel bad for the Alpha Draconian Grey Aliens, that they are enslaved, that they're like eternally enslaved to be evil, that they're like a fractal that is being enslaved to be an evil fractal. A fractal in reality, a waveform that just destroys everything that it touches. And I wish there was something to do about that, but unfortunately there isn't, because the Draco, the Alpha Draconians, and all these other evil aliens like the Grey aliens and the Black Goo, they chose to be evil. And it's going to take a long time for us to, when I mean us, I mean the entire universe, to change them, fix the fractal within their souls and shit, to reform them into something more benevolent and something more moral. And people say you can't fix stupid. Well, I would say you can't fix evil way harder to fix evil more than you can fix stupid. And they just put voice to skull in my head, Patty Brizard, and the other people that are tagged in and will listen to and watch this video. They told me you're not chosen, that you're not chosen to fight all evil, and they are putting an image of the black woman in my head in my visual learning space center, the visual center where I make pictures that I can paint and draw at. They keep telling me that I don't have the right to go out and fix evil extraterrestrials and to play like their Archon or Demiurge. And I don't have the right to do unto them that they do unto me, but for good purposes. Sergeant Patty Broussard, I have to become a goddess of war and death, even if I have to spend a good deal of time, like billions of years at least, in the lower fourth dimension and the lower fifth dimension, because I have to take care of these evil extraterrestrials. I have to be down there in order for me to fight against and teach these evil, lower density, negative polarity extraterrestrials to be good and not to do harm to other beings for the universe, because they are a pest and a threat to God, Creator, Universe, Source, and I don't want them causing the universe to fucking die. Because Sergeant Patty Brizard, Alfred Lee Bremont Weber, and other people that are tagged into this and will listen to this and watch this video, you need to understand that the world is not human centered. The entire universe does not revolve around us humans. There's extraterrestrial life forms, extraterrestrial civilizations out there. And that the universe also doesn't completely revolve around being a good person. Revolve against, revolve around being good, revolve around goodness. And that's because God, Creator, Source, regardless if it likes it or not, it created everybody in it to have free will, and that includes free will to be good or evil. And evil is part of the learning process, and it's part of the learning process of knowing what good is. It's like looking at darkness and light. You can't know and perceive light if you don't have darkness for the light bulb or the star to shine in. You have to have both. You can't have just all the light of the stars in outer space and not have space, the darkness between the stars, or else it will look like a white blank, bright blank, white blank paper wall like behind me. That's what outer space would look like. Behind me there was no darkness. You wouldn't differentiate one star with another, it just look like a white blur like you have light in your face and that's all you can see. Darkness helps you see light because it acts as a stage, like the red carpet in Broadway and Hollywood, in order for the stars in the sky to have something to dance and shine in. That's why. Well, that's what evil is to good. Evil gives good a litmus test and a stage to shine in, like a knight in shining armor, going out there and defeating the fiends for the hero to have a victory and glory, killing the evil villain within the comic book story. That's how opposites work in reality. What Hermeticists called the law of polarity. You can't have good without evil. You can't have hot without cold, darkness without light. We live in a world of opposites. And they just told me with E2K that that's a Jewish thought or a Jewish thing to say. They keep calling me a Jew. I'm not a fucking Jew. I hate Jews because I hate that they worship an evil God of the Bible, Jehovah El Marduk, who is Enlil. Anunnaki God Enlil that Zechariah's Ascension talks about in his books. I'm not a fucking Jew. I'm more of a pagan, and I'm more white than anything else. You can tell that I'm white because I have white skin, blue eyes, white facial features such as the button nose. Even though my lips kind of look Jewish because they're flashy, but then again, that's probably just another European trait that Jews seem to have because they're also European in descent because they're Ashkenazi Jews. I have European little ears to the point you can hardly tell that I have ears because I have them tucked in my bangs. I am not a fucking Jew at all. I hate their fucking religion, and I wish Sergeant Patty Rosario and Kate the Khazarian Mafia, the Zionist motherfuckers, and their souls off Earth and send them where they belong, which is Nibiru, Enlil's planet where Marduk, the evil Anunnaki Elohim aliens live at. That's what Zechariah Ascension said that their home was called, Nibiru. But it probably is called something else by them. And what the Sumerians said about their home and shit is probably not that accurate. And there probably is a lot of biases there too. But I'm just going to call it Nibiru and call them the Nibiruans or whatever. Or the Nibirees. That's where the Zionist Jews, the Jesuits, the Muslims, and the damn Christians, Patty Brazard belong. They belong on the planet of the extraterrestrials, the evil extraterrestrials that they worship. They belong there. They don't act like humans. They don't act like positive polarity, service to others beings. They need to be sent to Nibiru, the place that Marduk is from, Enlil is from, Jehovah is from. You need to send them there. Because they think there is their heaven. You need to send them to their heaven, which is the home world, the home place of their God, or gods, rather gods that they worship, which is the Elohim, Anunnaki, Nibiruan, from Nibiru, extraterrestrials. You need to send them there after you destroy them and after they're destroyed by other people, like myself. You send their souls there tell them they're not allowed on planet Earth at all. And if they try to reincarnate on planet Earth, you'll fucking put a curse on them, a fractal weapon curse, and they won't even be able to be allowed to reach the age of 18, and they'll die from sickness when they're in their teens or something like that. Tell them to stop reincarnating on this planet and other planets to turn it into a trash third world medieval wasteland. Uh, stop telling stop. Tell them to stop turning other planets into hell. Stop it. Stop destroying planets and degrading them, degrading their life on them, and turning it onto a parasitic and predatory mass. Tell them to fuck off and leave planets alone. And this is what I want. I want Muslims to stop. I want Zionists, Jews, Jesuits, and Christians to fucking stop. You get off Earth. Just get off. Most of humanity doesn't like these people. Most of humanity, Sergeant Patty Brazard, are atheists, pagans, Luciferians, Satanists, Buddhists, and Hinduists who absolutely hate the abhorrent, anti-human, inhuman, anti-nature, against nature, and against the divine feminine Middle East Abrahamic religions. We're sick of it. We want these fucking religions and the people that practice them, their souls, every bit of it off planet Earth. These people don't know that, and they are in denial that every soul and spirit, all beings in the universe, are their own gods and goddesses and have the right to worship themselves and to create themselves, and that they themselves are their ultimate authority figure, that they ultimately, all sentient intelligent beings, are sovereign, have free will agency, and have the right to bodily autonomy and autonomy in general. Religions, along with governments, that tell people that they, no matter if it's a human beings or extraterrestrials, no matter what planet this is on or what country it is, governments, religions that tell sentient intelligent beings, people, that they have less right to decency, dignity, and integrity, and that they have no right to sovereignty, bodily autonomy, and free will agency. They are evil and are going against natural law that Mark Passio and the Hermeticists talk about. They're going against the codes of the cosmos, the codes of ethics, what you would call the codes of Ma'at, the laws of Ma'at. They're going against these very fundamental to ethics, ethical and moral relationships between sentient intelligent life forms. They don't care about what's right or wrong, good or evil. And that all sentient intelligent life forms can, because we have free will, and we all have pros and cons, can be manipulated and be perpetrators and victims of governments and religions that make rules, belief systems, and brainwash people into being evil. And the third way to be evil is to think evil has the right to exist. And that's moral relativism. This is what these religions, Islam, Judaism, and Christianity are. They are ultimately moral relativism. And they're not even backed up by empirical proof, scientific evidence, and the scientific method. There is no scientific evidence that a fucking old man created the universe. That's a fucking fairy tale, Patty Brazard. that is a fucking fairy tale. And it's a brainwashing MK Ultra shit of the one too. And there is no proof that a woman created the universe, that a fucking woman is the God that created the universe too, so I don't even want to think that a vagina created us all. And there's a lot of women in Wicca and inverted versions of Christianity that think that God is actually a holy mother and not a holy father figure, and want to make a fucking female demiurge to worship in order to give back at men. And I'm saying, I don't want to worship nobody, effing fucking Christians, Muslims, or Wiccans. I don't want to worship anybody. Nobody's my fucking slave master. No God's no master. I'm a spiritual anarchist. I don't want to worship a woman dictator, bitch, demiurge god, as much as I don't want to worship a evil, patriarchal, misogynist, sexist, racist, dictator, old man god. The universe is not a woman or a man, it's a universe. There are other things besides humans and things that have vaginas and penises out there in the universe, like black holes, nebulas, plants and mushrooms and rocks. All that's part of God too. True God, which is the universe. The universe is androgynous and sexless. That's what the true God is. It's neither man or woman. It's neither. It's sexless and androgynous because it's all the cosmos, all reality. And all cosmos and all reality is everything. And everything is everything. And that makes it androgynous and sexless. Because when you're everything, you're both man and woman. And when you're both man and woman, you're neither man or woman. You're hermaphrodite, you're androgynous, you're sexless, you're asexual, you go to non-binary stuff, it's LGBTQ, and you even transcend the very idea of sex and gender in general. The universe, which is God, transcends the very concept, nature, and biological reality of gender and sex. That is how powerful it is. It, and its true nature and its true form about what God, creator, universe is, most people won't even perceive it and know what it is in their head, because a lot of people on planet Earth and a lot of other people on other planets wouldn't comprehend that there's something that created them, and everything that doesn't have a penis or a vagina. But that is true. It's true. And I'm just sick and tired of these religions want to put one sex on a pedestal. Make one sex, divine feminine, women over men, and vice versa. When the true divine thing that created us all is beyond both of those sexes. I'm just saying. Uh, look at the moon. Does it have a penis and vagina? Is that even a biological organism? No. That's created by God, creator universe. Most of the stuff in God, creator universe isn't biological. It's fucking space between the stars, and the stars, planets and moons don't have penis and vagina. Black holes don't have a penis and vagina. Nebulas, novas don't have a penis and vagina. Not everything's about sex out there. Actually, a lot of it's about work, for lack of a better term, because it's what all the fucking planets, moons, and stars and black holes do. They fucking work. They fucking do a lot of shit. They're like mechanical devices created by the universe to host life forms on planets. The sun gives the planets light and energy, and the planets is a platform for life and souls and spirits to incarnate and be a world on. That's just how it is. That's why these fucking religions have to go. Alfred Lieberman Weber, Patty Brazard, Tonight for Reconciliation, a Dramatic Council, Galactic Authority that Penny Bradley talks about. That's why these need fucking religions need to go. They need to quit with the fucking fairy tales, myths, delusions, and biases that aren't true. They are out of the realms of scientific reality of how the world works. And they're making us fight over who's got a penis and who's got a vagina and stupid gender norms and stupid racism and just stupid shit in general. I feel like Shiva, Patty Brazard, you talk about the destroyer of ignorance. Because ignorance is an enabler and causer of evil. It makes evil happen, enables evil to happen. Because ignorant people don't know what's good and evil, therefore they're not going to know not to do evil. And they will think that what they're doing is good when it's actually very evil. They also enable other people that are doing evil because they wouldn't know to say no to them when they're doing wrong. And that's why I think Christians, Muslims, and Jews have less rights to human decency, dignity, and integrity because they have none. They are ignorant. They have no fucking sense of reality. They have no common sense. They don't think objectively, clearly about anything. They call evil good and they call good evil. They think what they're doing is a good idea and is alright when it's not. And they, by their own culture and by their own religions, think that you have to be evil in order to live, and they think that the evil God that they created a delusional mythology religion out of, and that is brainwashing them, and it was created by evil extraterrestrials to brainwash them. Their religion thinks that an evil God created the universe and that we all have to be slaves of that evil God and enslave each other for that evil dictator God, Jehovah, the demiurge, Yada Baoth, El, Saturn. They think this. They fucking think this. They think this shit. That's why they are suffering through their own hell and their own cesspool of ignorance and denial of the ontological reality that everything is. I follow Cliff High, and he says, consciousness creates the universe. The universe is consciousness. We don't live in a gritology universe. The universe, the third dimensional material realm, would not exist without consciousness. That consciousness from source God, creator of the universe, is what makes the materium. That the materium of the third dimension is consciousness in a more dense and fixed form. That's what Cliff High says. Cliff High also says that our number one resource in the universe is our own consciousness and consciousness in general. That's right. He is right. Number one resource is our souls and spirits. Our consciousness, our feelings and thoughts. That makes gold, silver, and all these fucking dumb fiat usury note currencies look dumb and minuscule. When it comes to what our feelings and thoughts, our minds and hearts can do, I say burn every fucking dollar on planet Earth. And use money to make spaceships instead of using it as currency. Money, gold and silver, copper and stuff like that should not be used as currencies. They should be used to build spaceships with. free energy and replicators. That's what these metals should be used for, and they should be used for monatomic gold and healing people and making healing devices, surgery devices, because they're antimicrobial and very healing metals. That's what needs to be done. But no, the Jews with their cryptology shit, they want to continue using these powerful healing metals for fucking currency to enslave us in their fiat debt currency money matrix of fucking degradation and dystopia. They just want to fucking enslave us with their fucking bullshit currency concepts that go against free will and natural law. Fucking Gazarian Mafia. You know what? This makes me wish that I could take all the gold, copper, and silver and all the fiat money on planet Earth and go and send it in front of the fucking sun and say, you're not allowed to have this if you're going to just use it to enslave and do harm to people. Just fuck all of you. Nobody gets money. Nobody gets anything. I'm just sick and tired of it. Well, this is all I have to say, and this video is very long. My fellow target individuals, patriotic Americans, and conspiracy theorists, or what I call conspiracy realist, Patty Brizard, Alfred Lieberman Weber, and all of my other people that I look up to and listen to, like Carrie Cassidy. Talk to you later. Take care. Have a good night and a good Thanksgiving. Thank you for all the things you have done for our country, humanity, and even God, Creator Source.